Imagine if I told you that there is one specific nutrient, something that your body naturally produces less of as you age, that might just hold the key to helping your cells actually repair themselves. And I am not talking about some obscure, expensive supplement you have to order from a sketchy website. This is something your body already knows how to use, and after the age of 60, your levels of it can drop by up to 65%. This decline is so consistent that some researchers in the field of longevity now look at your levels of this molecule as a biological marker for aging itself, right alongside things like telomere length. In fact, a major study published in the journal Nature reviewed the data and suggested that restoring these declining levels in older adults could be one of the most powerful interventions we have for cellular health. But here is the kicker, and the reason you need to pay close attention. The way most people try to fix this, the way the internet tells you to fix this, is probably a complete waste of your money. In some cases, it might even be working against what you are trying to achieve, because the body doesn't just absorb this nutrient and magically fix everything. There is a very specific biological process, a conversion process that has to happen inside your cells, and that process gets harder as you get older. So if you are over 50, over 60, and you are just blindly taking the standard dose you find at the pharmacy, you are likely missing the entire point. You are leaving the real benefits on the table. So stick with me for the next few minutes because I am going to explain exactly what this nutrient is, why your cells are literally crying out for it as you age, and most importantly, the specific evidence-based strategy to actually get it working inside your body so those cellular repair mechanisms can finally kick into gear. Now, you have probably already guessed that I am talking about nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or as it is more commonly known, NAD+. And I know that sounds like a mouthful, it sounds like complex chemistry, but think of it this way. Imagine your cells are tiny, highly sophisticated factories. In order to run, to produce energy, to fix broken machinery, to communicate with other factories, they need electricity. That electricity is NAD+. It is one of the most crucial coenzymes in your body, and it is absolutely fundamental to life. It takes the food you eat and converts it into the energy your cells can actually use. Without enough NAD+, the lights in the factory start to dim, the machines slow down, the repair crews stop working. This is exactly what happens as we age. Our levels of this essential molecule plummet. When you were in your prime, your body was humming along, producing plenty of NAD+, keeping everything running smoothly. But by the time you hit your 60s, your levels are often half of what they were in your 20s. And this drop-off isn't just a number on a chart. It is directly linked to almost everything we associate with aging. The fatigue that creeps in, the brain fog that makes it harder to find the right word, the muscle weakness, the slower recovery from injuries. All of these things are downstream effects of those cellular factories running out of power. So the logical solution seems simple, right? Just take NAD+ directly. And this is where the multi-billion-dollar supplement industry steps in with their fancy bottles and their big promises. They sell NAD+ pills, they sell NAD+ injections, they sell IV drips that cost hundreds of dollars a pop. And here is the hard truth that the marketing materials don't tell you. The molecule itself is very large and very fragile. When you swallow an NAD+ pill, it hits your stomach. Your stomach is an incredibly hostile environment, full of acid and enzymes designed to break things down. That large, fragile NAD+ molecule gets ripped apart before it ever has a chance to get into your bloodstream, let alone into your cells. It is like trying to deliver a delicate glass sculpture by dropping it down a garbage disposal. You are just not going to get the result you want. You are essentially creating very, very expensive urine. The research is pretty clear on this. Oral NAD+ supplementation has very poor bioavailability, meaning your body simply cannot use it effectively. So if you have a bottle of NAD+ in your cabinet right now, I want you to think about why you bought it and what you were hoping it would do, because there is a much, much smarter way to approach this. And this is where the biology gets really interesting. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, has a different pathway. Instead of trying to force feed it the finished product, you need to give it the building blocks, the raw materials it needs to make its own NAD+. Think of it like this. You don't ship a fully assembled car to a factory that is designed to build cars. You ship the parts, the chassis, the engine, the wheels, and let the factory assemble it efficiently on site. The most effective raw material, the one that the scientific community is most excited about, is called nicotinamide riboside, or NR. NR is a form of vitamin B3, but it is a very special form. It is the precise precursor that your cells can easily absorb and then convert into NAD+ through a series of steps inside the cell itself. This is the key. You are giving the cellular factories the exact parts they need to build their own power generators. And when studies have been done, supplementing with NR has been shown to effectively raise NAD+ levels in the body. But, and this is a massive, but that applies directly to you if you are over 60, the story doesn't end there. Because that conversion process, turning NR into usable NAD+, requires a specific enzyme. Think of the enzyme as the factory worker who knows how to assemble the parts. As we age, the activity of this enzyme, this factory worker, can slow down. They get tired, they get less efficient. So even if you are flooding the factory with parts, if the worker is on a break or moving in slow motion, the assembly line still grinds to a halt. You are back to square one. So now we have a new problem. It isn't just about getting the precursor, it's about reactivating the machinery. And this is where the real cutting-edge strategy comes into play. The one that ties all of this together for someone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond. You can't just think about one thing in isolation. You have to think about the entire system. The most powerful way to boost your NAD+ levels isn't just taking one pill. It is a combination of supporting the production while simultaneously reducing the demand. You see, there is another major reason your NAD+ levels drop. It isn't just that you make less, it's that you use more of it up. Your body has these proteins, think of them as the security guards of your cells, called sirtuins. They are often called the longevity genes. Their job is to oversee cellular repair, to fix DNA damage, to reduce inflammation. But here's the catch. Sirtuins are hungry. To do their job, to repair damage, they have to consume NAD+. They burn it as fuel. As we get older, we accumulate more DNA damage from sun exposure, from pollution, from just the wear and tear of life. So the sirtuins have to work overtime. They are constantly burning through your NAD+ reserves, trying to keep things from falling apart, leaving even less for basic energy production. It is like you are trying to save money, but you have a massive, unexpected bill every single day that drains your bank account. This brings us to the practical, actionable plan. If you're over 60 and you want to support your cellular health, you need a two-pronged approach. First, you need to give your body the right raw materials. That means looking for a high-quality supplement that contains nicotinamide riboside, not plain niacin, which can cause an uncomfortable flush and doesn't work the same way, and not just generic NAD+. Nicotinamide riboside. That is the specific precursor that has the best shot at getting into your cells. But then, and this is the step almost everyone misses, you need to activate the sirtuins, those NAD+ hungry repair crews, in a way that is sustainable. And there is a natural, incredibly powerful way to do this. It is a compound found in plants, most famously in the skin of red grapes, but also in blueberries, raspberries, and even dark chocolate. I am talking about resveratrol. When you take resveratrol alongside nicotinamide riboside, something magical happens. The resveratrol essentially wakes up the sirtuins. It activates them, it gets them ready to work. But for them to actually do that work, they need fuel. And what is their fuel? NAD+. The very NAD+ that your body is now producing from the nicotinamide riboside. It is a perfect synergistic partnership. The NR provides the fuel, and the resveratrol turns on the engine that burns that fuel to perform cellular repair. You are no longer just topping up the gas tank. You are actively driving the car towards better health. You are giving your cells the tools and the instructions to start fixing themselves. This isn't just theoretical lab science. There is a growing body of research showing that this combination can have profound effects. We are talking about improvements in mitochondrial function, which are the little power plants inside your cells, leading to more energy and less fatigue. We are talking about enhanced DNA repair mechanisms, which is fundamental to slowing down the aging process at its very core. Some studies have even looked at its effects on cognitive function, suggesting that by supporting the health of neurons, it may help maintain mental clarity and focus as we age. And it makes perfect sense when you think about it. Your brain cells are some of the most energy-hungry cells in your entire body. They need a massive amount of NAD+ to function properly. If the power is being cut to the brain, of course you are going to feel foggy, forgetful, and slow. By restoring that power supply, you are giving your brain the energy it needs to keep firing on all cylinders. This is the difference between just managing the symptoms of aging and actually addressing the underlying biological processes. But, and I have to emphasize this, you cannot just rely on a pill to fix everything. The smartest strategy is to combine this supplementation with lifestyle habits that naturally support your NAD+ levels. One of the biggest, and I mean biggest, drains on your NAD+ is something called inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a hallmark of aging, and it puts an enormous demand on your cellular repair systems, burning through your NAD+ reserves. So, if you are eating a diet high in sugar, processed foods, and unhealthy fats, you are constantly fanning the flames of inflammation. You are essentially pouring water into a bucket that has a giant hole in the bottom. You can take all the NR and resveratrol in the world, but if your lifestyle is constantly creating a massive demand for NAD+ to fight inflammation and repair damage, you are never going to get ahead. You are just treading water. This is why diet is so foundational. Focusing on whole, anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, fatty fish, nuts, and berries gives your body the support it needs to keep inflammation low, reducing the burden on your sirtuins and allowing your NAD+ to be used for more productive things like energy production and maintaining muscle mass. Another incredibly powerful and free way to boost your NAD+ is through exercise. When you exercise, especially with high-intensity interval training or resistance training, you create a mild, temporary stress on your cells. In response, your body adapts by increasing its production of NAD+. It is a hormetic stress, meaning the stress makes you stronger. Your cells sense the increased energy demand, and they respond by building more power plants and producing more fuel. It is one of the most potent natural activators of this entire pathway. And finally, there is intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating. When you fast, when you give your digestive system a break, you also activate those same sirtuin pathways. In the absence of incoming food energy, your cells switch into repair and maintenance mode. They start cleaning out damaged components, a process called autophagy, and guess what fuels that process? You guessed it, NAD+. So, by simply giving your body a longer window overnight without food, say 12 to 16 hours, you are creating the perfect environment for your sirtuins to get to work. Using the NAD+, you have to perform deep cellular cleaning and repair. So, let's bring this all together into a clear picture. If you are over 60 and you are serious about supporting your body's ability to repair itself, you need to think like a biologist. You aren't just looking for a magic pill, you are looking to optimize a complex system. The foundation is your lifestyle. Clean up your diet to reduce inflammation. Get moving. Incorporate some intense exercise a few times a week. Give your body a break from constant eating with some form of intermittent fasting. This sets the stage, it turns down the demand for NAD+, and turns up your body's natural production. Then, and only then, do you bring in the strategic supplementation to give you an edge. You look for a high-quality nicotinamide riboside to provide the raw building blocks for NAD+, and you pair it with resveratrol to activate the sirtuins, the repair crews, that will use that fuel to fix your cells. This is the synergy. This is the strategy that moves you beyond just slowing down the decline and actually supports the intrinsic healing mechanisms that are already inside you. Now, I want to be perfectly clear with you. None of this is a fountain of youth. There is no magic bullet that lets you eat whatever you want and sit on the couch all day and still live to 150. This is about biology, and biology is complex. But what this strategy does is it gives your body a fighting chance. It provides the resources your cells desperately need to handle the inevitable wear and tear of life. It is about feeling more energetic, thinking more clearly, recovering faster, and maintaining your vitality so you can actually enjoy your 60s, 70s, and beyond. It is about adding life to your years, not just years to your life. And that, to me, is what health and wellness is really all about. It's about having the energy to play with your grandkids, the mental clarity to pursue your passions, and the physical resilience to stay independent and active. I would love to hear from you now. Have you ever tried any supplements to boost your energy or support healthy aging? What has been your experience? Have you heard of NAD+ before, or is this a new concept for you? And most importantly, are you going to try any of the strategies we talked about today, like changing your diet, trying intermittent fasting, or looking into the NR and resveratrol combination? I read the comments on every single video, and I genuinely want to know what you think. Share your thoughts, your questions, and your own experiences down in the comments below. Let's build a community where we can all learn from each other. And if you found this information valuable, if it made you think differently about your health, please hit that like button. It really helps more people find this content. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the next video, where we will be diving deep into another crucial aspect of aging well and taking control of your health. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.